Welcome back everyone. In today's video, I'm going to cover Game 7 of Smithy's Opening Fundamentals. We have Nimzovich versus Alapin, Riga 1913. So let's go ahead and go over the game. Again, we have E4, E6. This is a French defense. Black gets a solid setup, but it can be hard to develop his light squared bishop. And again, because the pawn is here on E6 and the bishop is trying to get out this way, right? It's not going to get out that way. So it's going to have to get out some type of way, right? Either on B7 or on A6. White goes D4, D5, knight C3, knight F6. So far, both sides are developing pretty normally. E captures D5. White clarifies the center. This is a perfectly fine way to play. And the way that he recommends, SmithyQ recommends in the practical tips section, but note that it allows Black's bad bishop to come into the game. So, again, what you play here is E captures D5, and then the bishop now can come here to G4, can use this diagonal to come inside, to come into the game. Now what happens here is Black doesn't do this. Black plays knight captures D5. Or it should have brought the bad bishop into the game, but Black decides to move his knight twice instead. Now again, this is a better move. Many French players don't like playing this structure because it is boring. Maybe so, but don't let boredom make you play inferior moves. Again, that is what SmithyQ comments here on this part. So knight f3, c5, and now an unnecessary pawn move. Okay, knight captures d5, queen captures d5. It's not easy to attack Black's queen here, but you must always be careful when your queen is developed early. So bishop e3, white develops while defending his pawn. C captures d4 and knight captures d4. And then now a6. That's his second non-developing pawn move for Black. He must proceed with caution. So why a6? Again, the bishop attacks the square, and then also the knight covers the square. So the square is attacked twice. And again, maybe Black didn't want to play. Black doesn't either want bishop b5 or knight to b5, right? So that's why he played this move to prevent this move from white. So bishop e2. Black faces a tough choice. If he does nothing, white will play bishop f3, bringing his bishop to the beautiful diagonal and hitting his queen. Okay, so Black plays queen captures g2, or he could go pawn grabbing with his only developed piece. Oh dear, again, this is worse, right? Because white still plays bishop f3. Again, the knight defends the bishop, and the bishop defends the rook, right, and attacks the queen. Queen g6, queen d2, developing the queen. Now, and white now prepares to castle queenside, completing his development. Such a commanding lead in time is easily worth a pawn. So again, Black has only one piece developed, and white has 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, if you pretty much the rule, I guess a rule you can use is if you are ahead 3 tempi, like 3 pieces developed versus 0, then it could be worth a pawn. Your development can be considered an advantage that is worth a pawn. So in this case, we have 4 compared to 1. So we're ahead 3 pieces. So that can be considered a lead that's worth a pawn. Now again, if Black catches up in development, that advantage goes away. So white needs to take advantage right now. E5. A third non-developing pawn move. After moving his queen around grabbing pawns, Black cannot get away with this. Again, so white castles. Time is everything. White completes his development even at the cost of his knight. So again, what does this do? Yeah, he's going to take away the knight, but now we have the rook and the queen hitting this file here. E captures d4, bishop captures d4. Sure, black won a piece, good for him, but now the e file is completely open. Right, now what about queen captures d4? After bishop b7, black defends against the invasion on d8 and is prepared to castle. White has a lot of development still, but not enough for a whole piece. Okay. So bishop captures d4, knight c6. Black tries to develop, but it's too late. Now starts one of the prettiest combinations in chess. So bishop f6. An empty square sacrifice. White clears the d file. And now all the major pieces aim at the bare king. Again, this is also a natural move, but after bishop b6, it isn't clear how to break through. Bishop f6, bishop b7, and with the e file blocked, it's no longer a checkmate on d7. White still has a good attack, but it's far from clear. Okay. So white goes immediately bishop f6, queen captures f6, rook h to e1. This was the idea. Bishop b7, and then now bishop captures c6 check. Again, if b captures c6, then we have queen d8 checkmate because the bishop is pinned. So king f8. Now queen d8 check. Bishop captures d8, and then rook e8 checkmate. Each of black's non-developing pawn moves made sense, and none were fatal by themselves. Taken together, though, they became a considerable loss in time, and white capitalized beautifully. Again, do you want to play games like this? Then focus on developing as fast as possible. Don't make unnecessary pawn moves. Don't go pawn grabbing. Time is everything. So let's go ahead and put these together. Again, he says that making one is fine, but when you do them, when they all add up, you end up losing the game pretty much. Again, the first one here is c5. So that's one. And then now a6. Now here, black could have had two pieces developed, right? Maybe the bishop here, and black could have already been ready to castle. And then also this is a wasteful move, going pawn grabbing with the queen. Again, black could have had a different position, a better position, with the knight on c6 and the bishop on e7 and the king castled. Right. So this is a lesson from the game. Again, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.